everybody, welcome to Fire in the Hole. As you can hear, got a little bit of the old annihilator happening for ripping through Canada Day. So everybody, Canada, happy Canada Day. All right, so fighting like disease. Ooh, little fresh Mexican chili pod, courtesy of Dave. Brought me some nasties today. I got a couple of real humdingers here. Got a 7-pot Apocalypse, I think, or 7-pot Armageddon. It's Armageddon or Apocalypse. I'll get Dave to tell me. And then I think this is a purple Ghost Scorpion, I believe. I'm not exactly sure. Obviously, it's not purple, but it's blood red, as if on cue. You're dead. All right, I better turn off the music before I get the violation. All right, so as I said, I got this cute little Mexican pepper. There was 4 of these little gaffers. Dave said he thought they were fairly hot, which I was a little skeptical about, but last year at the end of the season I had the Mexican plant growing. I had a ghost pepper next to it. It was one of those canned plants, and I'd already transplanted it, and it had just started to really stretch out. It was getting monstrously huge, and then the end of the season came. It threw out a whole bunch of flowers and never set fruit, and all the flowers just fell off. That was the end of that. So that there's a good possibility that Mexican may have been violated by a ghost. So if indeed that happened, these Mexicans would be a lot spicier than what they used to be before, because I know I didn't take seeds off the Mexican plant until after I realized that I was going to be trashing them all because of bugs. And so the last few pods that I got were the latest, were the freshest pods that I had off that plant. Then the plant went in the garbage, sadly. But so I know that that late in the season, there's a good chance that it might have happened. I can't be too sure. So, Fire in the Hole, I want to taste one of these little Mexican pods and see just how much actual heat is in here. Because maybe Dave's right, maybe they are really, really hot. So, Fire in the Hole, happy Canada Day. Seeds till Tuesday. God, I don't like that. So, for me, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give that about a 0.5. It doesn't even blip my radar. I don't even feel the heat from that very much at all. I don't think it's crossed with a ghost, because I think it would have lit me up a lot harder than that. A little after heat there now, a little bit. My Mexican plant is actually producing pods that are significantly larger than that little fella, but there's none of them have ripened yet. They're all still super green. But that's a nice pod. I had so Dave brought me a whole mixed bag of pods. There was a couple of 7-pots, and there was a couple Ghost Scorpions. There was a bunch of the caramel, Naga Jalokia caramel. I put 2 of the little ones in my salad with supper tonight, and it lit me up huge. Those little caramel pods are full of heat. They just have so much heat. Woo. As my eyelids were sweating, and I felt it real good. Not bad for a couple of tiny little pods. Alright, so now I'm feeling the Mexican going down a little bit. It might be a little hotter than I remember them being. Last season they weren't, they're a pretty mild pod. I was really looking forward to pickling a whole bunch of them, but sadly never happened. This year I should have pods by the bucketfuls. It was very it was a wonderful compliment tonight that Dave said my plants just made his look silly. He said my plants are so big and healthy and huge, and that means a lot coming from Dave because he's been growing a lot longer than I have. But my babies outside are so happy. I couldn't be happier. All right, so we've done our red pod for Canada Day. I was undecided whether or not I was going to do the nasty red one or the nasty chocolate one. I think I'm going to do the nasty chocolate one. It's a 7-pot Armageddon, I think, or Apocalypse, maybe. I should have wrote it down. Freaking seeds. Those Mexican pods, man, they couldn't pack any more seeds inside one of those things. Like a Thai chili. You ever cut a Thai chili in half? You wonder how do they get so many seeds inside such a small little area. All right. Huh? Yeah, that's a lot of placenta. Doesn't look like any mush in there. I'm just making sure there's no black spots or anything like that. The camera plays tricks with the light too, but that pod looks fairly healthy. Kind of evil. Snakehead pod. Jeez. So here's my review of the 7-pot Apocalypse. I think. Watch wallet, spectacles, testicles. Fire in the hole. A little bit of floral, a little bit of bitter. Certainly not the best tasting pod I've ever eaten. First swallow, the heat has just hit me in the throat when I swallowed, but it hasn't really started building yet. But my arms are already vibrating, so I know that I'm in for it. I feel my muscles start to spasm like that. I'm guessing this one's going to grab me by the ears probably. It's really hitting me in the throat really hard right now. Since the first swallow there, it just went straight into my throat. Not entirely unpleasant flavor, but the heat is going to be killer. I can feel it coming already. It's nice it gave me a couple of seconds to relax first, but this is going to be a doozy. Feel the burn in my my throat, the back of my tongue, top of my tongue, underneath my tongue a little bit. It's really starting to move around. Let's help it out a bit. Yeah, it burns like a super hot for sure. It burns like a reaper. It gives you that false sense of, yeah, maybe this isn't going to be so bad. And you already know you're dead wrong. You already know it. That's a hot pot. A little sweet too, though. After it was interesting. Got a little aftertaste that was like literally like a caramelly flavor, like a sweet flavor. I'm guessing those sons of guns would make a delicious sauce. Wow. Because if you can eliminate that little bitter floral upfront tones, I'm guessing that little sweet hint that I just got there is probably what's left over. Make a delicious sauce, I bet you. Be right up there with the Caribbean scorpion. Get that really unique pod flavor without adding a bunch of crazy ingredients. Oh. Yeah, that's a hot pod. Probably not going to cry. My eyelids aren't sweating really. Oh, there's one more minute left of Canada Day. There we go. So let's wish Canada a happy birthday. And that's the end of Canada Day. Heard a bunch of fireworks tonight. Didn't go out. We're empty nesting. First time in 15 years. Daughter's in Florida. Son's in camping in Muskoka. Darlene and I haven't had this much alone time together and literally in 15 years. So it's pleasant. We can't wait to see the kids. In our thoughts endlessly. Just got a message from Anne. They're in Disneyland at 1 to 2 a.m. in the morning. They got night passes for Disneyland. She just did Space Mountain at 1:30 in the morning. Said it was extraordinarily cool. Oh, there's Dave messaging me right now as I'm shooting my video. Are you going to do a video? Yes, I am doing a video. Oh my. There's Pepper Burp for sure. Hot, 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 hot. All right. Just responding to Dave here, let him know that I'm doing the video right now. There we go. Oh, that's very hot. I was toying around with the idea of eating the other little red one, but I don't need to be burning with the cap cramps all night, so I'll keep it to one. My tolerance is probably way down too. I haven't had a fresh pod in quite a while, and so this last batch of Hycopods, I guess. It's good and hot though. No slouch there. I'd say right up there with Reapers and Scorpions, right in the same playground. Oh. Whew. I feel them in my belly already. That's not good. Well, I think I'll probably cut it off 13, 14, something like that. That's long enough for a one pod review. Again, I'd have to say I didn't dislike the flavor. At first it was a little bitter. I don't like that initial blush. That first blush is always bitter and floral to me of most pods, I think. Except the Scorpion. I think the Scorpion gives me a little bit of a sweet blush at the outset. Again, the heat took a little bit to ramp up, but it ramped up nicely. My tongue is still on fire. That's a really odd tongue burn. I don't feel it so much in my throat anymore. I think I've managed to apple juice it all the way. But again, I can't wait for my Rimerus Fun strain, which are a chocolate, a 7-pot chocolate, and the chocolate Douglas, which are also a 7-pot chocolate. I can't wait for those guys to start producing, because I got a couple of little nuggets showing. I was so happy that finally I'm setting fruit. Like the flowers started a while ago, and they just kept popping, and now I got flowers everywhere, a bazillion flowers. But most of them just end up dropping off. But now they're all starting to set fruit, so I see the little telltale little wire sticking out, little tail. And some of them. And my pencil pods there's I think 9 pods right now hanging off that plant. Again, none of them will ripen. They're all just green, 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 green. I don't know how much bigger they're going to get before they ripen. Pencils, the ones I got them out of the grocery store were nice long pencils, so same lineage, same seed lines. But yeah, I can't wait to. I'm getting a really chocolatey taste now from that pod. So I'd like to thank my buddy Dave for bringing me a wonderful, little sweaty mustache, a wonderful gift on Canada Day of some pods of pain. They're most excellent. Scratch my itch or something a little bit crazy. Happy Canada Day and cheers.